friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a different location in my apartment today for a very special reason, and that reason is because I am doing a follow-up tips and tricks video for my imPress nails. About 2 years ago, I filmed a video about how I apply my imPress nails and my general thoughts and feelings about them. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know that I live and die by imPress nails, but the number one question that I have always received on that video is how do I remove them? I never really answered, nor did I ever really post a follow-up video because I don't really have a clear system that I would advocate others would utilize for removing the imPress nails. My removal system has basically just been popping them off of my nails, which I know probably sounds horrifying, and you're probably gonna tell me that that's so damaging to my nails, but the reality is when I would go to pop them off, it would be when I started to naturally have a few nails pop off, and then when I would press on a nail, I could feel it giving. So basically there was very little adhering it still to my nail, so popping it off wasn't really a big deal. But recently, when I was in my local CVS scanning the imPress section, as I always do, I came across this new product. It's called the Kiss Glue Off. It's the instant false nail remover. It has a patent pending slim chisel tip, and it essentially has 2 steps on here that they show you on the package. This is a brand new one, but I did already buy one, crack it open, and now it is my new go-to. When you take it out of the packaging and crack off the safety seal, what you are left with is this applicator. It basically has a little spout where liquid comes out, and you let the liquid sit for 60 seconds, and then you use what basically is like this, they're calling chisel tip, I call it a little shovel. It basically scrapes away at the nail. That description of scraping away maybe doesn't sound that appealing, but because the first ingredient of this is acetone, it basically melts away the nail, and the glue, any kind of glue or adhesive that you have underneath it melts away as well, and it chisels and chips it away. I have tested this out in a couple of ways. The first way I've tested it out is by applying it when I have nails like I do today, where you can see 3 of them just naturally popped off on their own, and I can feel that some of the other nails are ready to give. So they've had these on for about 8 days. I've also tried it with just one nail where I did a fresh application of glue where I pressed a nail on, and then I used this tool, and both ways I've done it, it has worked perfectly. I know some people probably could come up with some alternatives for, just dipping their nails in acetone or having, hot water, but when I've tried that, it is not nearly as effective as this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera and show you what this looks like in action. Okay, so this is the setup. Fair warning, I am on my dining room table, but I've put this cutting board underneath the paper towel because the first ingredient is acetone. So just like nail polish remover, if this were to soak through the paper towel and go onto my table, it probably would remove the stain. So that's why you see this cutting board table underneath it. You may want to do something similar. Essentially, what the instructions on the card say is it says that you're supposed to remove the cap and apply the glue off along the cuticle. You're supposed to wait 1 minute while the nail glue remover softens and dissolves the nail glue buildup. Use the chisel tip to lift off false nails and then wipe off softened glue with a paper towel. It says do not force or pull off the false nails. Repeat the process as necessary. When I was working with very fresh glue and adhesive with my nail, I did have to do this step a couple of times before the nail would sort of dissolve away on its own. Then they also include this nail buffer, and they say that you can use the nail buffer to remove the glue residue on natural nail and smooth the surface. After use, it says close the cap to secure. So we're gonna go ahead and go through that process with the 4 nails on my left hand first. So all I have to do is squeeze it, and then I sort of mix down around my entire cuticle the acetone so that it starts to really work through on the bottom part of the nail. I like the way this is curved, so it makes it really easy to push the product around. The only thing that I have considered and am curious about, so stay tuned for a trash talk because that's where I probably would follow up with this, is I don't know how long this stuff is going to last. I'm pretty liberal with how much I apply, and there is less than a fluid ounce in here. So I'd be curious to know how quickly I wipe it out with how frequently I wear these nails. But I think this was like $5 at my local CVS, which I don't think is a terrible price point. All right, it's been about a minute that I've had this product on. If I get up close and sort of wiggle the nail, I can feel it sort of coming off on its own. So that shows me that it has dissolved. You could always set a timer, but I can sort of feel it sitting on my nail and sort of loosening things up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start to push the nail. I'm not exerting that much effort to get the nail off. Don't mind my like little tender spot over here. That's because I'm vicious on my nails and I pick at them. That is not a result of the product. As you can see while I'm pushing, it comes off fairly easily. There's not a lot of effort or force that I'm having to use. The waiting the 1 minute really allows the product to sink in and sort of work its magic. I'm also being careful as I push this off to not squeeze on this because the product would ooze out. And this is what I'm left with. Fair warning, I'm gonna give you a close-up of my not so nice natural nails. As you can see, I do have glue left over on my nail beds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to squeeze a bit more of this on there, the places where I have a bit more buildup, and let it sit. And then what I'll do is I will wipe it away with the paper towel that I have sitting here. All right, again, I've let it sit here for about a minute. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take part of my paper towel and just wipe away the leftover glue that is sitting on here. You can see now from here that the gluey backing from the original adhesive nail is off of my nails, but I do still have some of the actual glue that I paint on to use as a double adhesive is still there. So that is when I bring in this little file so I can scrape away some of the extra like harder glue that is on my nails. Okay, so now that I am done with this hand, I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the other hand where I have 3 nails still remaining. Even though I am naturally a right-handed person, I find that I can use this in either hand and not have any problems. The nice part is because the applicator is so easy to use, I find that it is very forgiving, and precision isn't necessarily everything you need in order to be successful. All right, again, another minute has passed, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to push the shovel across my nail. You can see it's a little bit clunkier since I'm not working with my dominant hand, but it still comes off with relatively ease. All right, so now I'm left with a little bit of that sort of sticky backing from the initial nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a bit more of this onto those areas and wait before I wipe off with the paper towel. Again, it's been about a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off the excess sticky adhesive. And now I'm gonna go in and buff those 3 nails. And that is it. Normally what I will do before putting on another set of nails is I might give a 24-hour breather, or I might do a hand mask. And then once I'm done with the hand mask, I'll typically reapply the nail since my regular nail beds are so sad and pathetic. Alright guys, that is it for me. I am now ready to go apply some fresh imPress nails. I hope you enjoyed hearing how I am now removing my imPress nails, and I hope that you're now finally able to have a clear solution and method for how to remove your imPress nails. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.